Hello, I'm Pete the Irish Pilot. I thought it'd be useful just to spend a few moments helping both those of you that are going to apply for fully funded flight training and those of you who have already sent in your applications and have passed the initial screening process. First of all, for those of you that are going to apply for right now at the time of recording, TUI and British Airways are open. Read that application form extremely carefully and make sure that you complete every single part of it. Make sure you have a passport, a couple of referees, and also check out with your doctor whether or not there are any possible impediments to passing the Class 1 medical, and then get it all off as soon as you can. Don't delay. Then wait a little while, and before you know it, you'll hopefully get a link back from the airline that you've applied to with some online tests. Now, these first and foremost must be done within the time limit given to you, because if they're not, the link will expire and the airline will assume that you are no longer interested in finding that highly coveted, fully funded flight training position with a job at the end of it in a major airline. So make sure you do it sooner rather than later. And the other major point is you must do them yourself. Don't get somebody else to do them. Do not get any assistance. And the reason for that simply is that further down the line, you may be asked randomly to redo them. And if there's inconsistency, it'll throw up a red flag, and that will be the sign of trouble. So please do not do that if you're wise. Now then, these tests, what are they all about? Well, it's just another layer of filtering. There's numerical reasoning, verbal reasoning, there's a psychometric test, there's some logic tests like series of shapes and then what's the next one or what's the odd one out. There's also an ability to demonstrate your absorption of information and to be able to recall it accurately, fully in a specific time, namely answering questions about it against the clock, true or false, right or wrong, that sort of thing. And also there will be mathematical tests. Now, I do not want anybody to freak out about these because you don't need to be Albert Einstein. You just need to be confident at manipulating figures without a calculator. Primarily, they're looking at velocity and time, kilograms per hour, miles per litre, all that sort of thing. Now, I suggest you get a resource or two to help you. You could go into a stationery shop and they may well have sample questions in booklets. But personally, I would invest some money in one of three sites. Now, I stress I do not get any reward for pushing these three sites. I do not have any affiliation to them, have no commercial interest, and it's of no benefit to me, but I am encouraging you. So they are in no particular order: latestpilotjobs.com, pilotassessments.com, and pilotaptitudetest.com. Look at all of those, and some of them actually will say which airline are you applying for, and when you select it, pay your money, it will open up a window that gives you access to the specific type of tests that that airline is using. There's a whole variety, anything up to maybe a dozen or more of different types, and they all sort of pick and choose as if they're at a testing buffet, and they send them off to you. So have a look at those, get really good at them, and then get really good at them against the clock so that when you actually come to the test, you feel confident and you think this is a walk in the park rather than something you're dreading and really fear that you're going to do badly in, because actually it's a matter of prior preparation, preventing a piss poor performance, and you'll be absolutely perfect. Regarding the psychometric test, you cannot swat up for this. There's no right, wrong answer. They are merely trying to assess your personality and the sort of traits they've got. Don't second guess the question. Read it again, answer it, move on. Test finished, job done, wrap it up. The next stage will be calling you to a test center where you will have more tests, both in terms of individual and group discussions. There might be some sort of initiative tests like getting across a shark-infested river in little syndicates of you with very little in the way of kit and not much time. It doesn't necessarily matter, in my opinion, whether you get across the river or not. It's more an assessment of how you get on as a team player. Do you offer up ideas? Do you listen to others? Your power of decision making, making sound judgments and all that sort of thing. Also during that, you'll be asked to do another psychometric test. You will also do your Class 1 medical. Make sure you're well presented, be polite to everybody, bring along all those documents, not only your passport, but the referees. Copy your application form, I think would be very wise, because you don't want to write down or give an answer to something that disagrees with what you put in the application form. And also, if you have a Class 1 medical from another aviation jurisdiction, then bring that with you because that could transfer across. So in terms of what you need to prepare for at that centre, I'm going to do a separate video on that because that's a whole other piece of work. But for the moment, application form and the online testing is what we're about. I hope this has been of some interest to you. Drop me a comment if you've got some information that we could all share with the community. In the meantime, I wish you best of luck. Don't rush that form if you've got yet to do it, but make sure you fill it in perfectly and get somebody to check it. All the best for now, and I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers.